Now you lied to yourself on your New Year's resolution. Girl, it's damn near August and you still fat. What is you gonna do? You still fat and this tea is still for sale, girl. Click the link down in the description box below and purchase these fine products. Maybe you could be, smaller by Christmas. Bye. Nelson, girl, I had to get you on the line because we got some breaking news and some things to talk about. The baby just outed himself, child, at the Rolling Out concert in Miami, and he has ruffled a whole lot of feathers. But baby, we gonna break down how he just accidentally came out the closet. Coming out of the dark. Wanna talk about it? Here you go. Nelson, girl, I hate that I'm coming to you with a hoarse voice. I had the time of my life this weekend, but we got to talk about what's going on in these internet streets. The baby just made a mistake and outed himself at the Rolling Out concert. And what am I talking about? The baby took to the stage, and while on the microphone giving his shout outs, he was like, one time for everybody who ain't got HIV and AIDS, who ain't about to die in 2 to 3 weeks. One time for everybody, for the niggas that ain't sucking dick in the parking lot. And then the DJ follows through with, yeah, because some of y'all niggas is suspect. One time for the real niggas. We got so much to talk about, but let's just stop and dissect this really quickly. This ties into a video that I was formulating in my head last week about the vilification of black men in this country and how they take that and get angry with various other communities that actually have their back. I'm going to circle back to that. But let's start with the baby and his comments. Here is why I say the baby outed himself. Rolling Loud is a big musical concert. People from all around the world come. They paid him whatever they paid him. You got on your tour bus, your private jet, your airplane. You come. You pull up to Bayfront Park. You see hundreds of thousands of fans in the parking lot at the concert. You're in Miami, Florida. You take to the stage, and of all the things that could have come to your head, one time for my Cubanos, one time for my Latinos, one time for my Haitian mommies, one time for that good ass ethnic food, one time for the beautiful skies in Miami. Of all the things that could have come to your head, the forefront of your dome, for whatever reason, HIV and AIDS and sucking dick in the parking lot was the first thing that came to your mind to say on a stage of 200,000 or 300,000 people. One must ask why. And I saw one comment on the Shade Room that says sucking dick in the parking lot is real specific. It's real specific. And y'all gonna have to bear with me because my thoughts are all over the place. Here is what's messed up about it. Let's start with the HIV and AIDS piece, right? Because, part of being in this role, despite the fact that I may not want to be, at times I have to be a role model and a teacher. There is this ignorant stigma and connotation that HIV and AIDS is a gay people problem. It's a gay people's disease. It's a gay people's thing. HIV and AIDS is not only housed in the gay community, okay? There are a shitload of women who have HIV and AIDS and they did not get it because their boyfriend was cheating with a gay person or a trans person. There are people who are born with HIV and AIDS for miscellaneous circumstances. There are people who have contracted HIV and AIDS, you know, doing intravenous drugs. There are heterosexual people who have contracted HIV and AIDS through heterosexual sex. Okay? Let's just say, for instance, I was a child born with HIV and AIDS. And now I'm at the concert. You're one of the, you know, one of my artists that I want to see. And you say this. It's hurtful. It's damaging. It's ignorant. It's unfair. I didn't pay my money to come fucking be insulted. Fuck, what was I finna say? I was finna say something. HIV and AIDS piece, the HIV and AIDS piece. I don't know, hopefully it'll come back to me. My thought came back to me. The second thing I want to say is the whole dying in 2 to 3 weeks. What if I was dying in 2 to 3 weeks and my last will and testament, my last mission on this planet, my St. Jude's Cancer Before I Die, Make-A-Wish Foundation was to come to Rolling Loud and see DaBaby and see all the other artists there. Like, what if I didn't even come to see your ignorant ass and got hit with that stray bullet that you shot and I don't pay my damn money, my $200, $300, $600 damn dollars to be at that damn concert? You know, it's funny, I don't even do big music festivals like that, but I got a friend named Sebastian that works in marketing and PR. And he was assigned to Rolling Loud, and he was coming and told me, you know, come Q, I'll get you in, or whatever the case may be. He ended up getting reassigned to another project, so I ended up not going. But I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I could have been there that night, you know, and caught that stray bullet. Now, you know, let me move on beyond DaBaby and tie this in to something deeper and greater, and why we have got to talk about this type of stuff, y'all. You know, the video that I wanted to do last week was about black men in this country being shortchanged, and they take their anger out on everybody around them, and it's so misdirected. What do I mean? This country since slavery vilifies black men, all right? Black men are the boogeyman. Black men will rape your white daughters. Black men are drug dealers. Black men are this. Black men are all these horrible things. Black men get the short end of the effing stick. How do I know? I am one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a fucking double target because I'm black and I'm gay. But what black men have got to stop doing is taking their anger and frustration out on those who are not responsible for their demise, on those who are not responsible for their constant vilification. Black men, not all, but some, because you know we have to say that for the slow people in the back. Not all, but some, because the world beats us down so much. Some of us can be so bitter and so jaded that we're just looking for somebody else to beat up on. And oftentimes, black women and the LGBTQ community becomes that stomping post that black men can beat down on to give them a bit of status, to give them a sense of something. You know, I saw a quote one time that said, and it was particularly talking about heterosexual black men, and it said, if you don't want equality for all, meaning gay men, trans people, women, then it is not equality that you are looking for. It is privilege. Okay? And that thing hit me. Then there was another meme or post that I saw, an article that I read somewhere, I can't remember, that said, black men are the white people of black people. And it's the truth. What's so upsetting for me about what DaBaby did and what the DJ in the background did and the people who co-signed what he said, including T.I., who I am going to get together at the end of this video. What's troubling is the devaluation of gay men, right? Oh, baby, But let there be some injustice or some reason for us to march, then y'all want our body count. Y'all want our body count then. And you know what? I couldn't have this conversation and I couldn't say what I wanted to say in earlier months because times were too tense. Black people were too traumatized from the George Floyd and all the other stuff like that. But let's just have a very honest conversation here. All right? When we talk about the stereotypical boogeyman, the black man, the scary black man in the alley, when we talk about the black man that's getting attacked by police, when we're talking about the black man that's getting targeted, when they go into the store, and I know this may sound ignorant to some, especially for those who are unwilling to see my thought through to the end. But when we talk about that, we ain't talking about me. We ain't talking about Bobby Lights. We ain't talking about Frank Ocean. We ain't talking about Lil Nas X. We ain't talking about Santana. We ain't talking about RuPaul. We ain't talking about the T.S. Madisons of the world. We ain't talking about the Karamo Browns of the world. We talking about the babies, the Kodak Blacks, the Futures, what y'all call real niggas. Y'all the ones we fucking marching for. Don't get it twisted, and I don't have my head too far up my ass to realize that I can't be a target of police brutality and racial profiling. Yes, I can, and I'm sure it does happen more subtly, but I am not the nigga on the news. You are. I am not the nigga that white women are holding their purse from when they see me coming down the street. It's niggas like you. And you the ones that we out here, black women, LGBTQ community, people like me, y'all ass the ones we fucking marching for. The Bobby Lights, the Santanas of the world, we ain't got no police brutality problem. And I know that's going to sound so ignorant to some. And again, let me preface by saying, I recognize that I can very much well be the next George Floyd. I definitely get it. But the point that I'm making is, I am not the nigga that's on the police radar when I'm walking through the mall. It's you. It's your gold teeth, your bad English, your wife beater on with your ass hanging out, the real niggas. Y'all the ones we fucking marching for. And the sad part about it is, I see value in you, but you don't see no value in me. I am not your enemy. Gay people are not your enemy. So I'm left to ask, why did you feel it prudent to jump on stage and attack the gays and the LGBTQ community? You know what I'm saying? Since we having a conversation, let's motherfucking have it. Let's have it. It's y'all real niggas, y'all the baby type, y'all the future type, all these other real niggas. Y'all are the problem with the black community. Y'all are the downfall and the fucking demise of the black community. Let's have the conversation. You're ignorant as fuck. You got no education. You right here spreading your sperm all across the seven seas and having babies, creating broken homes. Then because you real niggas and in the streets doing real nigga things, you leaving these kids fatherless. All right. You leaving these women broken and battered. You're not there to provide. And quiet as it's kept, it's the niggas like me, the gays, that got to sit here and pick up the pieces when y'all break these women down to fucking nothing and reduce them to a pile of tears. It's us that have to sit back and support them and hold them up and coddle them and listen to them and help them financially and go see about y'all damn kids that y'all having. This toxic messaging that y'all real niggas continue to send, y'all are the fuck ups of our community. Y'all real niggas are the reasons why we can't make no strides and get no damn where. Y'all real niggas that fall into the stereotype of being hood niggas, y'all are the fucking downfall of the black community. You got some nerve. You got some nerve. And to be quite honest, you and niggas like you ain't special. You a nigga that got lucky. You are a nigga that's reaping the benefits of a systematic oppressive system that loves creating toxic media images to continue to poison the minds of black youth. So they've created spaces for people like you. That's all. It ain't nothing special about you. You a pawn in the white man's game to keep our community further divided and fucked up. And that's true tea if you want it. But that's alright. It don't matter. Because you a real nigga. And you don't suck dick in the parking lot. Now, you might stick your dick in strippers, prostitutes, 17 baby mamas. And you might fuck in the bathroom. But you don't suck dick in the parking lot. And again, that was very specific. That was very specific. We're not your enemy. After all I've said, even the anger that I've spewed in the midst of my realness, we are not your enemy. And yet, y'all do us so wrong. And much like blind women, much like black women, we are expected to blindly support, uplift, fight, stand up for y'all. And it's getting exhausting. It's getting exhausting. You know, in my real life, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care to occupy spaces where people like the Baby B, meaning like real hood strip clubs, pool halls, real hood parties, I tend to stay away. Because I want to go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. And y'all tolerate us. But we have to love y'all blindly because y'all are our brothers, y'all are our uncles, y'all are our daddies, y'all are whatever. But y'all do us so wrong. And why? There is a conversation that black men need to have amongst themselves about their trauma, about our trauma, and how that trauma manifests itself and we hurt those around us. There was no reason for you to get on the stage and attack the gays and the trans community and those with HIV and AIDS. Like, did you get in a fight with somebody in the back that was gay? Were you beefing and that was a subliminal jab at them and the rest of us just got hit with stray bullets and with collateral damage? I'm not understanding. It suggests to me that you fighting some inner demons, bro. Because again, of all the things you could have said. And then here's what's troublesome for me, right? Going back to having to protect the black men. And y'all love to get in the comments and be like, you know, black people, you know, we the only group of people that talk about our own people. White people stand by their people, even when they wrong, even when they in the wrong. They don't. T.I. and Tiny. I have touched on their situation lightly. I've touched on it lightly. I haven't touched on T.I. and Tiny the way Funky Dineva touches on topics. I touched on it lightly for several reasons. One, I'm a degree or two of separation removed from them in Atlanta. Two, their daughter and is on Fox Soul. I'm on Fox Soul. Tiny had a show on Fox Soul. Tiny produced a show on Fox Soul. So, just industry courtesy and friendship courtesy. What I look like going to Candy House for a Christmas party and I don't win in on her close friend. So out of respect for just certain relationships, I left that alone. As I'm scrolling through Instagram, T.I. decides that he gonna jump in and say, if Lil Nas X can kick his shit in peace, so should DaBaby. #equality. There's so much to unpack here. So we can already agree what the hell DaBaby did was toxic as hell, right? And a lot of black men in particular, masculine black men, and listen, I am not launching an attack on masculinity. Masculinity should be celebrated and not feared. But there is a such thing as toxic masculinity, and it is not an attack on true masculinity. What DaBaby did was toxic. And T.I., in short, you came behind it and co-signed it. Now, T.I., you've already demonstrated to the world that, you are toxic in your beliefs. And even now, I'm not even going to do it to you verbally the way I can, because it just ain't even worth it. But it would seem to me, T.I., with everything that you and Tiny got going on, that your ass will be somewhere on your knees praying and off damn social media, jumping into stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. You need to be worrying about how people said y'all was over there on drugs and they were sucking your dick for 6 hours and got tonsillitis, and how you putting your toes in people coochie, and how you and Tiny over there popping every pill and drugging folks and fucking from here to goddamn Wyoming. That's what you need to be worried about. But you want to come jump into this and co-sign this. And here's what's funny, right? When the stuff jumped off in Atlanta, when Sabrina Pearson came at Keisha Lance Bottoms and was like, this is the man that you're putting over community outreach and bring black people together. This is the person. At that time, a part of me was like, girl, you just being bitter. Mind your business. Why you doing that? You clout chasing. Girl, that was so unnecessary. Now, I'm right on board. I'm right on board. I am right on board. You are not the person. You are not the person to be giving black folks advice. You are not the person we need to be following. You are not the person. I don't understand why y'all are so hell-bent on excluding a whole demographic of people. Some of y'all so homophobic you don't even know y'all got gay kids, gay family members, but so caught up in your toxic ass beliefs that I guess you just don't give a fuck. You know why? Because you see no value in us. It's got to stop. It has got to stop. And you know what? I'm really proud of myself right now for not going in on T.I. the way I could have, and DaBaby for that matter, because what the world needs right now is love. The world needs love right now. This was just highly unnecessary. It was very disappointing. And my closing point is, black men sometimes scare me because the narrative in our community is that, if we just uplift and keep working with the black man, and we raise our kings up and we get them to a place, then every woe in our community will be healed. And just looking at the way that some of y'all move, I am of the honest belief that if ever that door is fully open for heterosexual black men, that once they step through that bitch, they gonna close it for everybody in the community behind them. Because the real psychological issue that black men, the conversation that they need to have, that we need to have amongst ourselves, is this desire to have the power and the privilege of white men. That's what it is. And it's starting to show. So many of our brothers don't give a fuck about women, don't give a fuck about nobody else in the community. They just want to be held equal to the white man. And they will step on everybody else in the damn community to get there. Y'all, this was a mess, but I loved it because it created a situation for us to have a conversation about some real shit, and not me just talking about these dumbass reality shows that I'm backed up on and gotta watch 6 or 7 or 8 hours of TV of. I'm done. I'm exhausted spiritually and mentally from this. Y'all drop down in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. Bye.